Hey guys, we're always happy to welcome our sponsors when we have the opportunity to spend a little time with them and chat and just get their take on what's going on in the world. We're living in an interesting world. I don't have to tell you that. But one of the most encouraging things is that people are taking an interest not only in their health but in their nutrition, and those things go hand in hand. There's a lot of phrases out there, everything from gut health to micronutrients and macronutrients and all these other kind of things that if you ask a guy like me, I need all the help I can get in trying to figure out those things. So I want to welcome our friend Kim Bright from BrightCore Nutrition onto the show, and let's just talk with her for just a minute. Kim, how are you doing?
Hey, Chad, I'm doing great. How are you?
I am doing good. I was watching the news last night where our new, the new health secretary, Robert Kennedy Jr., he went to Steak and Shake of all places. I was at the White House last week, and we sat down with him for a minute, and he was encouraged. He said there were 5 different fast food chains that reached out to his office about switching over the seed oils over to beef tallow. I know we got a long way to come when it comes to fast food nutrition, which sounds like an oxymoron to me. But in your opinion, with BrightCore, do you guys are you encouraged by what you see with what happened with the interest and the changes that are being made?
Well, I am. I've been doing this for almost 50 years. I've been Maha 50 years, so
Oh,
almost 50 years. So I am so excited to have him on board, and we've got to start somewhere. I mean, it's a mess. And he's already addressed, he's looking at the artificial colors, and he's talking to the food manufacturers yesterday. And then I think he was probably at the Naples Steak and Shake on Saturday with Hannity. And, he's started. That's the great thing is, these guys don't mess around. I mean, look at what President Trump's done so quickly. And, all of his team are just like, let's get on it. Let's get on it. And I see that with him. And I'm very excited about it because his background, he's dealt with all these people that have been destroying our health. He's dealt with the people that are destroying the environment. They're dumping things in our water, our soils. And so he's getting in there and he's going to do a great job.
I think he is going to do a great job. After spending a few minutes with him a couple of weeks ago, my friend Savannah Hernandez, who's an incredible journalist, she said, I really want to ask him if he'll just not take my Mountain Dew off the market. She said, because I don't see any way that they can make that any healthier. And the stuff that we have put in our bodies for so long, in that interview with Hannity, he was talking about traveling in Europe as he grew up. And, you go to Europe. We have people in this country now who can eat the bread in, say, Italy, but they can't eat the bread here in the U.S. We've sprayed it with so many different chemicals, pesticides that can't be broken down. If bugs can't kill it, then our body certainly can't digest it. Are you excited about the trend? I know a lot of people, and the reason I ask this is there are a lot of people out there saying, well, if you keep messing with our food, it's going to change the way it tastes. And have we gotten way off track in terms of what real nutrition and what real food actually is?
Yes, our taste buds are totally adulterated. I mean, they didn't just start dumping all this crap into the food, yesterday. It's been going on for a long time. And so we've got generation upon generation, and that's why we're seeing all the diseases that are, used to see, in 40, 50-year-olds. Now they're in 3 and 4-year-olds because we keep poisoning down through the generations. And the foodstuffs that we're using, I mean, you're talking about a lot of money, like GMO seeds. Those are very different. They're banned in so many other countries around the world. But, you had to use Roundup on those. And we know what that ended up in. But the whole thing here is we've got to get back to going to your local farms, going to your local ranchers, and supporting them and buying good, clean food from them, because the whole system, just like the deep swamp that President Trump's trying to break apart, and people have to be patient because this is not an overnight fix. It didn't take overnight to get here, and it's not going to take overnight to fix it all. So we've got to start in little by little, and I think that's what RFK is doing. But we've got to get back to real food, because I was in Europe. I went to college over in Europe, and I will tell you that you can eat a lot of food over there and nothing, no allergies, no anything happened because they are dealing with real food and it's fresh food. And we've got to get back to that. We have normalized, just like this country's normalized all the weird things that we've normalized over the years. We've normalized our food supply too. And we've got to wake up and smell the coffee and see that we are not really eating food. We're eating something that our body doesn't know what to do with. And it's affected our whole bodies when we're eating these food. It's affected our brains, our heart, our gut, our skin, our digestive tract. And then what do we do when we get, not feeling well? We've been taught now we got to get a medication. Okay, when that medication's not working, now we got to switch it up and we're treating symptoms and not the cause. So by getting back on the track of eating real food that isn't filled with all of these chemicals, our bodies will not need those things. And that's what Big Pharma's been afraid of. That's what all of these guys that are the bottom line is the thing that they're going after. That's what they're afraid of. They're going to lose money. And plus, we're not sheep when we're eating good food and we're healthy.
Yeah, that's true. And it makes us a lot more free, a lot more independent, and a lot more not only resourceful, but wealthier in so many different ways. You have energy to go out and work and the energy to be productive. I've often said that Big Pharma doesn't want us dead. They want us dependent. And we've created a culture that we're always in the back of the Walgreens or the pharmacy at CVS. We're just waiting in line for a handful of pills that are going to make our levels right, whether it's a statin or blood pressure or a blood sugar. And the biggest drug you put in your body is the food that you eat. And we're all convicted by that, but I wish that people could have this revelational, eye-opening experience rather than putting another needle in their stomach with the various medications that are out there, the semaglutides, the tirzepatides, that God only knows what that's doing in the long term to people. Yes, they are seeing some weight loss, but they're seeing a lot of other loss as well. And again, we don't know what the effects that's going to have on us long term. So we're seeing this rise, as you alluded to, we're seeing rises in cancers, in sugar issues, in cholesterol issues. We've been lied to about the food pyramid for generations. We've been lied to about what cholesterol actually does to our body, and our brain is made up of cholesterol. We've been told that certain healthy things are unhealthy, and vice versa. So
we've been lied to straight up. We've been lied to, and I don't mind if your friend wants to keep her Mountain Dew, and I don't mind if there are people that want to keep eating crap. But what I do mind is if you're going to make the decision to eat crap and poison your body, then don't come to me and want my tax dollar to support you when you get sick. That's not okay. And we got to figure out a way. Hey, y'all that want to eat crap, you go live over here. And when you get sick, you figure it out. But if you want to take responsibility, and that's what's lacking is, first of all, I wasn't taught this in school. I had to learn it myself. I had a near-death experience. That's why I got on board and walking this walk. The good Lord showed me, and opened this avenue up to me. But the whole thing is, it's called responsibility. Now, you can either be responsible for your own health, or you can put it off on the doctors and Western medicine. And I've studied all kinds of different modalities of different approaches. And so the key thing is, if you want to be responsible for your health, you can be healthy. But if you want to, take all this other stuff in because it tastes good or you're used to it and you don't want to deal with it and you want to take all these, Ozempics and whatever to lose all that obesity that your body's created from the inflammation from the wrong foods and all the altered things in your body and cells, I don't want to be responsible for you. I'm sorry. I don't. To me, that's stupid, but that's okay. Free country. You can be stupid. You got to be responsible for your stupid. And then you got to be responsible if you want to take care of your health. And the most important thing, though, to start is in the gut, because that's where we have all the war going on. And the war between good and bad, just like we got the swamp in D.C. Trump's cleaning the swamp there. We got to clean
it everywhere.
Yeah, we got to clean our swamp up.
And I think that's been the sentiment of Robert Kennedy as well, as he says, I'm not trying to take these things away from you. If you want to do it, you can do it. But we've normalized obesity. We've
Yep.
tried to make that a glamorous lifestyle. It's not. But to your point, we end up paying our taxpayer dollars are funding people's medical bills and their health care issues. It's not a healthy lifestyle. And the body, God created us to eat food. I mean, we're supposed to fuel ourselves, and people are shoving chemicals in the body to make them not want to eat. To me, that's weird. When I go to Europe, if I'm in Italy, these people eat all day long. They eat all day long. The way that they eat, we gorge ourselves at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks in between. And we buy our meals from the window of a car at a drive-through. That's not real nutrition. It's not real food.
And Chad,
These
the whole
people.
thing, when you're over in Europe, when you're in Europe, yeah, they eat all day long, but they eat small little portions. You know why?
Right.
Because when you're eating real food, you don't need huge portions. You know why Americans eat such huge portions? Like they'll sit down and they'll eat a gigantic meal. And then 3 minutes later, after they're done and they're watching TV and a commercial comes on, boop, there to the refrigerator. Why are they doing that? Because their body is searching for the proteins and the
Mm,
enzymes. Enzymes are greatly lacking in this processed food that we call food that we've all been ingesting. It's looking for the vitamins. It's looking for, the minerals, the things that God made these bodies to ingest. So it's no wonder that our bodies are constantly hungry. We're
yeah.
not getting the nutrition, and that's why we got to get back on track, and RFK Jr. is going to do that for us.
You would think that since our bodies are the only one we're ever going to have. I mean, you can put plastic and Botox and all kind of chemicals inside of it, trying to make it look better. But it's really the only mobile home you're going to carry through this life. You would think we would get to know it a little bit better, spend a little more time understanding our DNA, our chemical makeup, the way that we are constructed and created, and the things that actually feed us. I know. I'm sitting here out in the wilderness, in the canyons of the hill country of Texas, and I love coming out here, breathing this fresh air, and I look around and I think about how we corrupt creation in the ways that we just destroy the beauty. The same with our bodies. We really are temples created in this really majestic way, and we treat them like like a double wide trailer that's been hit with a tornado.
That's
And
a
you're
good
right.
analogy.
We are just searching for nutrients. We're searching for the enzymes. Our body is begging for it, and we feed ourselves an insulin spike, and then we crash, and we're looking for another snack. It's like we're constantly living at a buffet. And you guys are doing a great thing over at proud of you. I've taken, I've used your products for a long time now, and I love them very much. And my girlfriend comes over to the house every time I get a new shipment in, and I have to immediately do another order because she steals my kimchi. And so I mentioned that I was going to be talking with you today, and she said, "Tell her to send some more kimchi." And I was like, "Quit stealing my
Noted.
kimchi!" So we love it, and it's just the products that you guys have created over at BrightCore are these things that your body is searching for. Tell me a little bit about the process that went in to what you guys created and why it's important.
Well, I started the company, we're going on into 29 years ago. And I
Wow.
started it with something that balanced your pH out because your blood is the whole thing in your body. And when you have a
Mm,
balanced pH in your blood, you do well, you're healthy, right? But then we started looking at all different areas of the body, the hair, the heart, the brain. And then it's like, well, where does health start? It starts in the gut. And all of these processed foods that we've been eating, that everybody's indulged in, what happens is if you really eat a lot of those, Chad, you have these things, these finger like protrusions that are in your small intestine that are supposed to be there to absorb the nutrients as they come through. Well, those little villi is what they're called. They
mhm.
die back when you're putting these chemicals in and the processed foods and the dyes and all this, it kills those guys. And they die back and you have nothing to absorb any nutrients. Not that you're getting a whole lot in processed foods anyway, but the few little things that you might be getting on a daily basis, you're not getting. So we had to pay attention to gut health. We wanted because what we've come up with, kimchi for our gut, helps restore those villi so you can absorb your nutrients again. it helps restore the health of the good guys in our gut so we can tamp down the bad guys, the fungus, the yeast, the molds, the parasites. And I'm going to tell you something, it's not a pretty picture here. If you've been eating a lot of these processed foods, people, you have parasites. If
Yep.
you've been eating typical American diet, you got mold and yeast overgrowth and all these bad critters in your gut. And so what we decided to do is like, you know what? We're going to put something together from a food that's been known for centuries to help the gut immensely. And we're going to encapsulate it because this food to Americans smells funny and tastes funny. Its original place was Korea. It's called Kimchi, and it's a fermented cabbage with shrimp paste and chilies and all these kind of things. And the American palate is just like whoa, And so by getting this on a daily basis in a convenient form in capsules, you're going to help aid and abet that gut health, that gut microbiome coming back to a more normalized, balanced state. And those villi are going to grow back. They've done studies to show that that actually occurs. And so you don't smell it, you don't taste it, and you can use it conveniently. But this food is so powerful, Chad, that it has over 900 different friendly bacteria, and some strains that are found nowhere else in any other fermented food. It's rich in enzymes, like if you eat sauerkraut or pickles or anything like that, these strains aren't in that. They're in kimchi. So we wanted to make sure that everybody got the king of fermented foods on an everyday basis to help not only their digestion, but skin health, hair health. There was a study done on guys that had male pattern baldness, and women too have it. I think 93% of the guys ended up with thicker hair and also hair growing back. And women, 96% of the women had the same thing. So this helps your hair grow back. It helps you have thicker hair. Then there's been studies done. There was one with 115,000 people in Korea over a 9-year period. And then there was a more recent one with 90 people done, where they showed that they took their measurement, their BMI, body mass index, they took their waist circumference, their hip circumferences, they took their blood, and so they could look at the triglyceride levels and the other lipid levels. And do you know that the majority of the people, they lost weight, their waist circumference went down significantly, hips were reduced significantly, their gut microbiome improved significantly. So overall health was greatly enhanced. Their skin health changed. We've got a direct communication line from our gut to our brain, our gut to our skin, our gut to our hormone, and to our hormone area. And so what happens is when that communication is blocked, or we can't get those signalings right, we're not well in those areas. So when you put something in like kimchi and you're able to get rid of those pathogens, it's like you're sending the super, trained guys in there, and they're killing off
Special forces.
the special forces are headed in there. That's right. And so we're getting a healthy gut back again. Thus, we're getting healthy skin, healthy hair. Our weight is coming down. Our body's normalizing to what it should be. It's given a chance because it's getting all of these incredible nutrients out of these capsules every day.
Yeah, and you guys have a list of products that are phenomenal. We're just talking about the kimchi. I always encourage folks, if you go over to mybrightcore.com/America, you will see right at the top of the homepage those kimchi capsules. I don't miss a day. I don't miss a day because for me, as much as I go, as much as I travel, my weekly schedule, I'm constantly in an airport, on an airplane, and then 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm preparing for one show, and then by the afternoon, I'm doing another show. Men aren't designed to talk as much as I am, so I want to make sure that I got as much mental clarity and emotional stability and all of those things working in my brain, and it all starts, as you said, with gut health. It all begins, you think about your brain, the anxiety, the depression, all of the things that a lot of people, and men especially, deal with. It's your gut health. It
Well, and
all
Chad, can
starts
I
with
tell
your
you
gut
too?
health.
In your gut, you manufacture neurotransmitters. Serotonin's one of them. That's for your brain. So if your gut is off balance, your serotonin levels are off balance, and your hormones are off balance. So you this by eating this every day, you really do. And we've got so many stories of people that were depressed, PTSD, all of these things
Yeah.
are changing because their gut health is getting in. So it's extraordinary food and now supplement.
Well, Kim, makes me want to go in here and take an extra capsule, honestly. I mean, even when I go camping, when I'm out here in the wilderness, I bring this stuff with me. I have it with me. I mean, I can sit here, I could take a statin, I could take a blood pressure medicine, I could take something for gout, I could take all these different pills all day long. You know, I take my little aspirin, take all this stuff. And I'm like, why am I going to stand in the back of the pharmacy, take a handful of pills that equals out to a meal all by itself, or I can take this, help my gut health with BrightCore. I mean,
And you're
BrightCore
getting at the
Nutrition,
cause. You're getting at the cause of it. You're not
yes,
addressing symptoms. You're getting at the root cause of why
yeah.
you're not feeling well.
It's not a Band-Aid. It's not a Band-Aid. It's actually fixing the issue. Kim, thank you for the time. This is so good. I want everybody to go over to mybrightcore.com/America. If you use promo code America or you use the QR code that you see right there on your screen, you can get an extra 25% off. Or you can get 50% off with free shipping. Give them a call, 888-575-4996. You get 50% off when you call them on the phone. And you might as well call them. You might as well talk to them on the phone. If you got any questions that's out there, they can help you with. So give them a call, 888-575-4996. That's worth the deal. But go to mybrightcore.com/America. Use code America. Don't you dare go there without talking about America. You use promo code America. We're making America healthy again. And the people that are leading the way are people like Kim, who had the vision. You had the vision, and you got this thing done.
Well, and
Over
also,
at
Chad,
BrightCore.
also, if the first 100 callers, we're going to even throw in a free bottle of vitamin D3, and that's really important for
Love
bone
it.
health and other things too. So, yes, so let's make America healthy again, but let's start making ourselves healthy again.
Yeah.
Each individual, we need to be strong and healthy to help President Trump fight this fight these evil people that are out there because they are evil. We're doing a spiritual war here, people, and we're doing
You're
a
right.
war inside our guts. So let's get healthy because weak
Yeah.
people don't make good fighters. So let's get strong. Let's strengthen our gut. And Chad, it's been a joy being with you.
Oh, thank you. You're a blessing. Kim Bright, mybrightcore.com/America. Use code America. Be ready for the battle, folks, with BrightCore.